News 8's Ken Owen has spent this day talking to people there, and he joins us now by satellite with more. Ken Owen. Ken?
Hello, Mike and Debbie. Yes, it is a very difficult day for the people here in Oklahoma City, which is a city not unlike Indianapolis, a bit smaller, but the downtown city virtually shut down today. The mayor has asked people to stay away. Most of them did, but some did come down to see what's going on, a major rescue operation. One of those we talked with downtown today is a man who says his sister-in-law was working on the 3rd floor of the federal building yesterday. She is still unaccounted for.
The thing I've heard here is this is worse than Korea, this is worse than Kuwait. You know, these seasoned officers are saying that. And I was in a town that was devastated by a tornado, I mean, wiped completely off the map. And I've never seen anything like this, ever.
And we're still scared, and we're still feeling very vulnerable right now. So I don't think that in that aspect it's going to change at all. I think we're still going to feel that way.
And I think this morning on the way to work, when the president said that they were going to fly the flags at half-mast for our city, that hit. Right now I'm waiting for the redneck anger to hit, because that's what's going to happen.
The people of Oklahoma City said before today they felt immune from this kind of thing. Terrorism in this part of the country unheard of, but as we're finding out, terrorism is possible anywhere. We're going to look at some pictures of the scene from the streets of downtown Oklahoma City today. Again, a good crowd of people down here looking, despite the fact police and the mayor have told them to stay away, and a major rescue operation underway. We talked with a doctor about a half an hour ago who has been through the rubble and says there are 70 to 80 bodies inside. He says in pieces. There are no full bodies. And he says they have still not been through all of the wreckage. So there continues to be a rescue operation, a search mission going on tonight. And if it's like last night, the lights will be on the building and it will continue throughout the night. We also talked with a fire department official who says he expects them to be here at this time next week, continuing the operation. A lot of work to do in a very delicate operation because there are concerns, Mike and Debbie, about the structure.
Ken,
that's the situation live from Oklahoma City.
Yeah, if you can hear us, Ken, you're wearing a blue ribbon on your shirt. Tell us about that.
There are several people here, just citizens, handing out ribbons today to show their support for the victims of the disaster here and also their families, and for the people who have sent prayers from around the nation. The loop showing that the prayers being sent from around the nation are being felt here in Oklahoma City.
Okay. Ken, thank you very much. We'll see you later.
News 8's Ken Owen is in Oklahoma's capital. He joins us now with some perspective on this national tragedy. Ken?
Good evening, Mike and Debbie. We just heard from the governor of Oklahoma. He toured the site about 20 minutes ago, and he has told us now that President Clinton will be here on Sunday to both tour the site and join in a prayer service. It's been a very, very difficult 36 hours for the people of Oklahoma City. As we look at some video, people were walking around downtown today despite the fact the mayor told people to stay away and leave room for rescue operations to proceed. Some people did come down to see for themselves the damage that was wrought upon the federal building. People say Oklahoma City is a place where locals don't feel like they have to lock their doors at night or lock their cars. A safe haven from terrorism, as one could imagine. But emotions are running very high today. Some say the reality of what happened yesterday is just now sinking in.
Still scared, and we're still feeling very vulnerable right now. So I don't think that in that aspect it's going to change at all. I think we're still going to feel that way.
You hear the president declare our city a disaster area. That hit home. And I think this morning on the way to work, when the president said that they were going to fly the flags at half-mast for our city, that hit.
The cranes you can perhaps see over my shoulder are holding baskets where rescue workers are actually working from, trying to look inside the wreckage to see if they see any sign of life. 200 people remain unaccounted for, and we've heard from a doctor today who says there are signs as many as 70 or 80 people are dead inside, at least that they found, and their bodies are in pieces, Mike and Debbie.
Yeah, Ken, we can, of course, identify here in Indianapolis. So we're in the heartland, as is Oklahoma City. It's a mid-sized city. It's a state capital, so those seen behind you could be anywhere.
And I think the emotion people have been expressing here is the same one we would in Indianapolis. That is, how could it happen here? How could terrorism hit this community? And that's something they'll be grappling with for a long time.
Yeah. All right, Ken, thank you. Ken Owen reporting live from Oklahoma City.
Well, News 8's Ken Owen is in Oklahoma City tonight. He brings us this satellite report on how residents there are pulling together as a community.
Mike and Debbie, for rescue workers here in Oklahoma City, hope is their ally, but increasingly time is becoming their enemy. With the help of floodlights, they will work again around the clock tonight looking for victims and survivors of the blast. Earlier today, we talked with a triage nurse who waited outside the building all day long for a survivor to tend to, a wait that was in vain.
The biggest thing I've heard here is this is worse than Korea, this is worse than Kuwait. You know, these seasoned officers are saying that. And I was in a town that was devastated by a tornado, I mean, wiped completely off the map. And I've never seen anything like this, ever.
A doctor who's been to the scene says rescuers have been unable to search a third of the building because of rubble and structural concerns. In the other two-thirds, he says, no signs of survivors.
There are two areas that appear to have multiple bodies or multiple victims in those areas.
For many of the people of Oklahoma City, the key question is why? Why did this have to happen and happen here? They say yesterday brought shock. Today, reality set in.
And I think this morning on the way to work when the president said that they were going to fly the flags at half-mast for our city, that hit. Right now I'm waiting for the redneck anger to hit because that's what's going to happen.
As the painstaking work continues here in Oklahoma City, many residents say life here may never be the same. I'll have more reports for you tomorrow. This is Ken Owen reporting from Oklahoma City. Back to you, Mike and Debbie.
Thank you, Ken. You know, we call it Who's Your Hospitality?